Hey, Nick family. Welcome to a special edition of the Just Nick and It Weekly Show. I'm your host, Stephanie, aka Queen. We got a special show tonight. This is the first of two season previews, and today I'm claiming them. I got my sisters here with me. This is the first all female panel on the channel. This is something that's about over 2 years in the making. This was the vision we had for the Queen's Court. We just wasn't able to make it happen until today. Shout out to Sim, the creator of Nothing But Knicks. Forever grateful for the idea. Let me bring in Lady and the Chef, Ebony, aka Mad Nick fan, BK Chris, Tsunami, Diva Locks may be joining us later. How's everybody doing?
I'm
Good.
good. I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm
Good.
ready to see what's going on with our team this year.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt about it. How about we start with each of you introducing yourself and just talking a little bit about how you became a Knick fan? So we'll start with Lady and the Chef, Ebony, Chris, go around.
So yeah, I'm Lady and the Chef. Half chef, half baller. Huge Nick fan. From Westchester County, YO. So all the YO fans know what I'm talking about in the chat. I have wrote some of my answers down. As far as the questions. But no. So if you see me looking down. I became a Knick fan way back since when I was a kid. So I started watching the Knicks probably like in like 95, 94, 95. So when they had, your Anthony Masons, your John Starks, your Ewings, Larry Johnsons, your Allen Houstons, your Sprewell, who was a little nut, Camby, Charlie Ward. My mom was a huge Knick fan. So growing up, she was always watching the Knicks, and naturally, I was watching the Knicks. So, and I learned the game by watching it. Like I didn't know, growing up, what the different calls meant as far as fouls, technical fouls, et cetera, et cetera. And then I got to see a little bit of the action too, because back in the day, players were just real raw. They was putting coaches in a headlock. And I was like, they could do that. And my mom was like, they can't, they can't do that. But, I've always been a Knicks fan. Like that's been my team. And it's like, that was the household team. So for me, the Knicks have been my team. And I've been rocking with the Knicks through the bad, and some of the good, but lately it's been it's been nice to see the changes. It's refreshing. So yeah, I'm a Knicks fan for life. They'll always be my team.
No doubt, no doubt. Ebony,
How y'all
yeah,
doing? Nice. Thank you for having me. Nice to talk to you ladies
Of
about the
course, of
Knicks,
course.
the team I've been a fan of since I want to say 9. You know, uh, I've been about playing basketball since about 9 also. And yeah, the Knicks. I remember one time my family was at a family barbecue and they found a way to get the TV outside. So they had the barbecue going, everybody's partying. And then one time they just stopped and it got real quiet. And and everybody just huddled around the TV. So my cousins and I, curious, we stopped with them. And I played basketball, but I wasn't really watching it at the time. And to see my family, everybody just stopped, and it was like a playoff game. And I just remember everybody erupting, and that kind of started my love for basketball and for the Knicks. And I've been a fan since, never wavering. Good, like you said, the bad, and some more bads for a lot of time. But I did get to see some of the golden years of the '90s, so that was a. And then on the other side, you had the Liberty. So I had a pretty good blue print of basketball growing up, and those have been my two teams. I'm just excited about this season actually, and to see the kids become men and the leaps they make.
no doubt, no doubt. Chris,
What's going on, chat? Salute, salute. Some of you may or may not know me. Stephanie and I started out with Queen's Court. Stephanie and our friends. Oh, shoot. I don't even want to say how many years, Stephanie, but we up there. We up there.
Yeah.
Actually met Stephanie
Over
in my
20, maybe over 25.
We think a little more than that, but we ain't gonna go there. I met Stephanie when I was a freshman in college, and she was a junior. And we've been friends since. You know, I'm not even gonna lie. I was a Knicks fan from when I was small. My dad was a fan, but then a man named Michael Jordan came in, and I was a Jordan fan. But I still, supported the Knicks and stuff. But it was a rough time when the Knicks played Chicago. So but I've been there from Kenny, the Animal Bannister, and the Jerrell Wilkins, and all of those guys. So I've been around for a little bit. I'm excited about this year. I think we're building. So I just want to see where we at. After the 2 playoff years, and actually getting a little deeper this year in the playoffs. So just hopefully everybody's coming back with a mindset to let's build on what we have and continue to get better.
Yeah, no doubt. Anything particular you're looking forward to? I know, Chris, you say you're looking forward to seeing the young guys, just seeing us build on what we've done over the past few seasons. Anything else for you and Ebony, Lady and the Chef, that you're looking forward to seeing this particular season?
I want to see how Randall
Ebony, you go
comes
first.
Oh, I'm
sorry. No, that's okay.
Yeah,
it's just easy.
I would like to see. I know that I see the new haircut, so I see the new attitude with the way he's responding to media. So it feels a little carefree, and hopefully having such a deep roster will help to take some of the pressure off of him. So I would like to see how Randall reacts this season. Just where he picks his spots and gets his team involved. Also, I would like to see if the game sped up, if the game has slowed down for him. And also, I would like to see Mitch. I seen, we saw a little bit in the first game, but I would like to see if what Mitch has added to his game. Did he get a little drop step, hook shot, something? I think that's about it. Oh yeah, RJ, how he gets his points. How he picks his spots also. I'm excited for the whole team. I'm not even gonna lie. I just want to see the development. What happens with that? I'm not even gonna hold you because I'll be up here all day. I want to see Miles. I just want to see how I just want to see how they all progress. Yeah.
I mean, talking about Miles McBride, I was super excited to see him running the team when he was in the game, because usually, when he's in, he's playing off the ball. And I was like, you got to learn how to, run a team. And it was just good to see him when he was in that preseason game. Whenever he was in, he was on the ball running the team. So that was good. That was good to see. Lady in the shop?
For me, I definitely want to see more ball movement and a quicker pace. I found last season when the Knicks moved the ball and didn't just come down and 1 or 2 passes and then someone shot, which didn't work for us. But when the Knicks had at least all 5 guys or 4, because Mitch, when he get the ball, he having a panic attack. He's scared to put the ball on the wood. But when at least 4 guys touch the ball and we swing the ball around, the Knicks are a lot more successful. So I would like to see a lot more ball movement and then a quicker pace. I mean, I saw it sometimes where like Hartenstein would get the ball, get the rebound, and throw a nice little lob down the court. I want to see more of that. I mean, the Knicks could be, if they're a lot quicker, I think they'll be a lot more successful and not, I like the way like Brunson and Quickly have that sense of urgency when they bring the ball down. But I just think that getting the ball over the half court line, moving the ball around, actually running the plays that Tibbs have for you guys, and then setting solid screens. Like I want to see solid screens being set for the point guards and whoever is running the ball. And to piggyback off of what Ebony was saying with Randall, I mean, I'm hoping the haircut is some kind of rejuvenation, but also mentally, I hope that he's in a better spot. because a lot of times with Randall, I think he's a great player, but mentally he gets in these like funks. You know, he has this attitude, whether it's with teammates, you know, it's a bad call. I don't want to see a lot of the complaining over every little foul either. You know, if you get a foul, just keep playing
Evening.
and also
Sorry.
make better decisions also when you do get the ball. A lot of times I would see
Yes.
Randall, he has the ball, he's in the air, now he has nowhere to go. So, you know, now we have a turnover. So just better decision making overall as a team. I don't want to feel like Brunson is carrying all the weight and he has some kind of help. Not just in a point guard position, but when he passes you the ball, be ready. You know, same thing for Mitch, piggybacking off of what you were saying roughly with Mitch. I know Steph has mentioned this, and I agree 100% with her. I'm not expecting much from Mitch. I heard her say she saw clips of Mitch working out over the summer in the local look like YMCA gym. And he, you know, just had his boy passing him the ball every time he shot it and made it. So I'm not expecting a down low post game from Mitch. But when you do get those lobs or, you know, you get those tip-ins, just be more accurate. The same way we're expecting it for RJ to make his layups, get better at the three. I'm expecting that with Mitch. So just overall, just quicker pace and more better ball movement for me.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah. I want to welcome in before Chris go. I want to welcome in Diva Locks, Lady and the Chef Mom. I hope that wasn't a secret.
No.
And just this is just the second question. The first question was just introducing yourself and how you became a Knick fan, and then what do you want to see from the Knicks this season, and then Chris will get to you.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're talking to me, Steph?
Yes. Just
Okay. Yeah.
introduce yourself and how you became a Knick fan.
Well, Diva Locks, but my name is Leslie. I've been a diehard Knicks fan. I don't know, before she was born. I remember watching basketball. My mom used to go for the Lakers. I used to go for the Knicks because my mother thought Magic Johnson was so handsome. That was her sole purpose. But I was always a Knicks fan. Um, I'm a passionate fan where, of course, I'm a team player. It's no individual player. So, that's just my love for the Knicks. And overall just the sport in general.
Right. And what are you?
And
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
no, you said what I'm looking forward to most this season.
Yes.
Of course, wins and make it to the go further than we did last year, which it was a lot for us. Considering Brunson, that was his first year. Hart came along, that was a big addition for us. And and again, we could be there. As a team, the Knicks, they capable. There's a lot of downsides to if they don't make it, or and there's a lot of upsides to them to get there. But I'm just hoping for definitely just to get further, go further than we did last season.
Now, are you measuring that in terms of wins per season, or wins on the season, or how far we get in the playoffs?
How far we get in the playoffs?
Okay.
The wins, even you could be an 8th seed and you could still, advance, but I'm just talking about playoffs. I'm looking straight ahead. nothing
That's
shy
where I'm
of the playoffs.
Yeah, that's where I am. Chris?
Full steam ahead.
I think I'm gonna piggyback off everybody. I'm definitely interested in Randall. I mean, like we all said, the new haircut, but also is it coming with a new attitude? Are you gonna respond the same way that you respond when things are not going your way, or you're not getting a call you want from the referee? Are you gonna be responded to your teammates when they're trying to pull you away from the situation? Are you gonna have the same energy? Because that plays a lot into the scope of the game. I feel like sometimes his attitude and stuff kind of takes us out of the groove because, the offense goes through him. So if he's having a bad attitude and he's stagnant, or he's still worried about the call that happened on the other end, it's not very productive to us. Also, I just want to see like a flow where it's not too much ISO ball. Like I think we did a lot of ISO with him, and it kind of had a lot of people stagnant last year. Like I just want to see a good flow. Also want to see what we're gonna do with Evan. Is he gonna be on the bench? He's making $18 million a year. Like I think we need to find some way to incorporate him into the offense. I mean, he looked decent. I'm not gonna say he looked the greatest during preseason. It was one game I saw, but I mean, it seemed like he had a flow and they were looking for him. The players were looking for him. So, and when he had his opportunity to hit the threes, they always look pretty, but it doesn't mean they always go in with him. So, and I think it's his confidence. Like I think Tibbs has such a dominant personality that it kind of, for players that are not used to it, for him being from a Euro player, maybe he's not used to a Tibbs type coach. I don't know, but I just want to see something different out of him. I want to see what RJ is going to do. We're paying him a lot of money too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And he not a little kid no more. He been in the league long enough that he should be able to put a nice little package together. And I'm the fact that he was getting to the line was definitely a plus. He wasn't hitting his shots too well, but he was getting to the line.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Now
I mean,
in the preseason.
And also, I want to see what's going to happen with Sims, because now he has a legit opportunity. And if they're going to do that play where they play him and Mitch together, that might be something, we might see a little something on him. I mean, the expectations is not really that high because, hasn't really fully been playing like he should. But I feel like this is an opportunity for him. And Mitch, he look a little fat. I don't know. Like, I don't know if that's going to sweep him down, slow him down or whatever.
But he's looking. Really?
He looking like he had sandwiches this summer, Stephanie.
I just think he put on muscle. He look big, but
it looks like he can move.
His legs is kind of.
He looked like he can move with it though.
He got a little booty. I was like, wait a minute, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see after playing a couple games how much that weight is gonna affect him.
Yeah. We will. Welcome, Tsunami. Welcome to the panel. Good to see you for the first time, and I can't tell you how long. She was a regular on the Just Knickin' It Weekly show, so it's good to have you back. How are you?
Thank you. I'm good. Health-wise, I'm in a much better spot. It's great to be back. I miss talking basketball. I just had to figure out how to manage my time better. This new job I got was making an impact, but I'm healthy and I'm ready to talk Knicks.
That's what's up.
That's the most important thing. Welcome. Just talk a little bit about how you became a Knicks fan, and then go right into what you're looking to see from the Knicks season.
All right. I became a Knicks fan because I watched Melo. Was a Syracuse Orange fan at first, watched him, saw him win the championship, and I went to Denver alongside him. And basically watched that. My dad's a big, major Knicks fan, always has been, always will be. So he expected me to be a Knicks fan right away, and I was like, nah, I don't want to follow you. Like, Dad was always so upset watching games, so I was like, I don't need to deal with that. But long story short, we all know what happened to Melo. Melo got traded to the Knicks. I had to go with them. So I'm a Knicks fan ever since. I still supported them when they went to there were no playoffs at that time. But anyway, I still was happy to watch the Knicks at that time. But that's basically how I became a fan. And as far as what I'm looking forward to this season, I want us to take the next step as a team. I want to see what the chemistry that they built up over the last season and even further back for some of our players, right? I want to see them grow. I want to see more from Grimes. I want to see more from RJ. I want to see more from Mitch, especially, those three mostly, because I already know what Jalen Brunson's going to do. I already know what Julius Randle's going to do, or at least I think I know. At least I think he set his bar as to what he can do. So that's what I'm looking to see. I want us to move into that upper echelon in the East Coast. And I think we can do that, but the Knicks got to do it. They got to prove,
it's going to be a dog fight. It's going to be a dog fight.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
I agree.
I'm not
even when you look at Go ahead.
I'm not scared.
Oh, I was just saying, I'm not as scared as I once was as far as like Philly, right? I think they're going to take a step back. Miami is not going to replicate what they just did. I know some people are still scared because Pat Riley and all that. Yeah, I get it, but they lost a lot in the offseason. And they didn't get Dame, which brought a big, major smile to my face. It just feels good to say it. No Dame for Miami. Oh, no. No superstar. At
But
least
the
for
Knicks
now.
showed they had heart though in the playoffs. So that's one plus is that we didn't give up, even though we lost Randall and there were some games where Jalen wasn't. They didn't crumble years ago. They probably would have crumbled. They didn't have that many people there. They would have gave it up. But they fought. They fought.
They sure did.
Well, yes, I think we were the second best defensive team in the playoffs. So I think as far as the defense concerned, as far as the effort was concerned, absolutely we fought. But our shooting went south. And that is what I'm looking forward to most this season. Can we shoot the basketball? We were ranked 20th in effective field goal percentage, 19th in three-point shooting, and we were the number one team in open shots.
Wow.
The number of open shots we got per game, we were number one. And open means nobody within 4 to 6 feet of you.
Yeah,
so
and you didn't
we could talk
make
about
it.
We could talk about the offense all we want, and I love watching the flea throwing. Everybody's passing the ball and cutting. It looks great, but at the end of the day, the Knicks were number one in open shots, and we could not knock. And we were 15th and knocking them down. We got to get better at hitting shots. So that's what I'm looking forward to the most. I'm not going to know that probably to the 20th, 25th game of the season, how well we're shooting. Grimes already shot 39% from three. I hope his shots are a bit more timely. To me, he ran hot and cold where he'll have games where he was like 4 of 6, 4 of 7, and other games he was 1 of 4. And he didn't get a lot of shots, by the way. I'm hoping quickly starts the season, ready to go. It took him a while to get into his groove. I'm hoping DiVincenzo helps as far as the shooting is concerned. RJ Barrett shot 30% from 3. I know he's not a great three-point shooter, but I need him to get that up to at least 34%. You know? So that's what I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to, if our shooting got better. And then also just the growth. Is Grimes going to put the ball on the floor? Is Grimes going to be able to help Brunson bring the ball, up the court? Quickly, is he going to continue his, evolvement as a player in the sense of knowing when to go for his and when to set everybody else up? When, he's a scorer, he can get to the basket anytime he wants. So he's gotten better with that. I want to continue to see that. And Randall, to me, there's nothing Randall can do until the playoffs. He can become MVP, and that's great. That's great. I need to see him in the playoffs, because if he produces in the playoffs, we talking something totally different about the Knicks then. So that's where I'm at. Anybody else anything else you want to add to that before we move on to the next question?
That's true. I feel you. I think as an opposing team, if we were dead last in shooting, I would leave us open too. You gotta shoot me out the gym before I come and play Dion. So,
that's what Miami did.
So I feel like
we were open by design.
And it's
right.
We already know RJ not gonna hit the side of the barnyard. We already, we already know some people that's not gonna do it. So I'm gonna leave them out there, But hopefully DiVincenzo, and I don't know. Like, I still feel like Evan is the piece. I feel like we are missing that piece, that knockdown 3-point shooter that we've had, and I feel like I said, I think Tibbs took his confidence from him.
Yeah,
He shot well. I think with Evan though, it's he's not the smartest when it comes to defensive play. Because even to the first game to me, just recently, he shot decently, but the fouls he was making and the shots he was giving up, I'm like, Fournier, you a vet, baby. You a vet. Come on. So I think that will keep him definitely from seeing, especially with Tibbs.
I think they hit him in the defense of the other teams that he was on. They hit them because they had people in the back that were you know.
Right.
And we're gonna put Mitch and whoever, like Hartenstein and Sims, in trouble if we do that. So I think Sims want him to just, you know, get his feet moving.
To
Get them
to your
size
point, Chris, to your point, I don't think Fournier is the worst defender on it. Like, we have people in the starting lineup that don't even play good defense, but you can't play Brunson and Fournier together. I think that was the issue. Because think about it, Fournier started every game the year before. We were the 4th ranked defense. We were a top 10 ranked defense, and Fournier started every game. Yeah. Now, last year he didn't play, he was taken out of the lineup. We were the 19th ranked defense. So I think when it comes to that, you're going to always have players in the lineup who are not good defenders, like Duncan Robinson for Miami. Who are you putting around them, right, to help? And so last season, Fournier became unplayable because Brunson is not a good defensive player as much as he tries. So you can't have Brunson and Fournier. So I think that was more of it than just Fournier, than just Fournier himself. And I agree with you, Chris. I think Fournier's shooting can help us. Put him in the lineup with Quickly at the point.
Yeah, exactly.
Grimes at the 2. You know what I mean? Just put some good, good some defenders around.
We definitely
that's what we're doing for Brunson.
Yeah. Because we definitely need him. It's too many games where if we had that spot up shooter or that 3-point, just somebody to hit it consistently, we would have been in a couple of those games, down the stretch. But even when he put him in there to try, he just couldn't. He couldn't get it together.
Facts. I think if we were able to get Miami out of the zone, it would have been a totally different series.
That's true.
But we couldn't get them out of that zone. We didn't have the consistent shooting, and even with Brunson and Randall, they didn't believe in them enough as a 3-point shooter. They were, kind of like taking the lesser of two evils, if you want to think about it. Like, okay, we'll let you shoot as long as you don't get to the bucket, kind of thing.
And they both was on bad angles,
that too.
Was on bad angles.
Yeah, I think to your point, Ebony, it would have took more than one person shooting well to take them out of the zone. And sometimes they weren't even in the zone. They was just packing it. It was a man-to-man where everybody was just packed into the key. And you're going to need more than one person to shoot well for them to abandon that strategy. And we just didn't have it. Is there any particular, well, I guess we talked about that. Which player do you think takes the biggest leap this season and why? We'll start with Diva Lock, Tsunami, Chris, Ebony, and Lady in the Shaft.
Well, I'm hoping is.
What do you want to take?
Well, who I want to take is RJ, because he's been in the league long enough. He's came in 2019. If he did a great job, for doing the FIBA games, but he bought the bronze for Canada. So I want him to carry over into the season, for the Knicks. And he's capable, he just, again, the 3-point that he has to bring that up. Even his free throw shooting, he's streaky to me. He can definitely improve in that area. So I want him, RJ, because you've been in the league, long enough where like you have to make your presence known. Just overall, just like your scoring. There's a lot of things that hopefully you've improved on this year, and you can it can show on the court.
Yeah,
that's my guy. I want to see.
Yeah, and this is year 5 for him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Tsunami?
I mean, the answer always is going to be RJ. So I'm going to try and pivot off of that answer because that's just a slam dunk for me. So I guess if I had to pick someone else, would be Grimes. I want to see him take that step forward because I think he'll probably end up getting a little bit more minutes than maybe Quickly does. It's kind of tough because I think to make that leap, you need to have the requisite minutes to do so. So even if you're balling out for 15 minutes a game, that's not really a leap. So my goal will be for Grimes to just take that next step with him. We all know we want to see him continue to be a slasher as well as hit that three. So he's more of a threat no matter where he is on the court. And to make him more unpredictable with what he does. So that would be great. We already know his defense is going to be there, and maybe even taking another step defensively. He's already great. Let's see him foul a little bit less, or have a lesser reputation for fouling so much that the refs seem to hate him for some reason sometimes. But that would be who I choose. Again, because I'm not going to choose RJ. It's just too easy for me.
Well, I'm
okay. Is it me?
No, Kristen, Ebony, Dilly.
Okay. Oh, my bad.
I'm going to choose RJ, but then I'm also wants to say quick. The reason why RJ is, like you said, year 5, I want to see something different. I don't want to see the same year 3, year 4 RJ. I want to see something different. I want to see that you've been in the lab working on something different. You know what I'm saying? If your 3 points not working, get your mid range going. Like something. Like give us something that's consistent that you worked on. Let us see that you've been working on some stuff. And also quick, this is your year for that extension, and I think he's going to show out. I want to see him play so good that Tibbs has a very hard time not starting him. You know, not start him in that too. I mean, it might do something to the bench, but at least you have that energy going to start the game off. Because a lot of times our start is good, but then that third quarter coming in, we kind of flat. So just that energy, you know, that energy, and show us that you want that $100 or something $1 million extension. Like, listen, what better way to show it than to put the ball in the basket, you know?
Yeah.
That's facts.
Do you think, Chris, that he could play next to Brunson and still shine, or do you think that maybe it's just not enough basketball to go around in that starting lineup with Randall and Brunson?
I think it is enough, because if you notice, Brunson plays off to him when they're bringing the ball up. Brunson give him the ball and run down the court, so he has his opportunity to do what he needs to do, you know, and he has no problem with bringing the ball down and pulling. And Tibbs clearly hasn't told him not to. So, I mean, he has an opportunity to really make this his offense, his team. And what better way to do it? What better way to do it?
Yeah, I mean, what I like about it quickly was to start next to Brunson. I like them defensively, but I also like having that other ball handler. I just feel like Brunson is out there on the island. They put guys with long wingspans on them. They put physical guys on them. They put quick guys on them. And it's like high school where you the only ball handler and everybody else is going up the court and you got to try to bring it over. And I think with quickly, or if Grimes now feels comfortable, has the green light to bring it up, any one of them should be able to bring the ball up and initiate the offense. So that's what I would like. If I don't think IQ is going to start, but that's what I would like if he did.
I would like
he would bring that to our team. Yeah. Ebony?
Oh,
we can't hear you.
Eb?
I'm here. It went to the Matrix for a little bit for me. I'm back. Definitely. I had I'm gonna keep it different since we said RJ. We mentioned I definitely would have probably said that if I had one first, but then Grimes and IQ, definitely the people that I would like to see take a leap. But I'm gonna keep it different, and I'm not even gonna go for a player, because you know if I was talking personally, I would want to see Mitch take a leap on the offensive end, because he's a defensive superstar. You know, so I think he has that part on that part. He's a star on that end of the floor. But if he added a little bit more, offensive, I think that would help us out. But my thing, the person I'm going to pick that I want to see a leap from happens to be Tibbs, y'all. I would like to see a more creative offense. And I know we don't have the shooters, but getting the easy shot for the ones that's supposed to be the shooters, you know, that'll help too. We make it harder on ourselves a lot of time. And also, I would like Tibbs to just ride the hot hand. Like, no matter who that hot hand is, just ride the hot hand. You know how many times during the season we like, who is this that's killing us? You know, who is this? But that's because other teams, you know, they ride the hot hand. So I would like I would like for us to do that also. And just maybe I remember the statement D Rose made. So maybe giving the players just a little bit more offensive freedom. Try not to play so tight, make them play so tight and think more than play. So yeah, I would like to make that just those, because Thibodeau, I like that he gets the best out of his players. You know, they want to work harder to get on the floor. Because if you're not, then you're not playing, you know. So I respect that about Tibbs and his coaching. I just wish he would be more flexible and adjust a little, try things outside of the box just a little bit more. I'm gonna lay my plan here. Then I seen somebody put up a clip, and it was of Grimes, and it was movement that I haven't seen last year, but it looked pretty different this year. Grimes, you know, him and Quickly showing their chemistry, and it looked like the play busted up, and Grimes cut to the rim, and that little movement caused the defense to think enough to give Quickly enough time, because they didn't know who was going to go cover the cutter, to get Quickly an open three, and he shot very well in the first preseason game. So that stood out for me. Just adding a little bit more movement, maybe helping get the people that's supposed to shoot easy shots and the people that can't, easy layups.
Tibbs is an Atari in a PS5 world. I don't think too much is wrong.
That's a good analogy.
He is.
That's
He's
a
an
good
Atari, you know? He's that old school running defense, and defense, you know, creates offense, which it does, but I don't see him doing too much changing. Like, that's why I say he's like an Atari game system. And we all know how old that is. And these kids is PS5, Roblox, and all of those games.
Roblox.
He said Roblox.
I don't really know how much changing he's going to do. Like, I mean, we'll hope for it. Maybe, you know, some coaches called him and some of his people, he'll listen to him a little more now, but I don't see too much changing there.
He said they moving on Fortnite, and he's still at Contra.
He's got that little karate game, you know, that karate
pop. My slight pushback to that is the Knicks were ranked 8th in 3-point attempts, and that's part of a modern offense. And my other pushback is you got to run the offense that's best for the players you have. If you have two elite or near elite ISO players, you put them in a motion offense. You put them in a motion offense where everybody has an equal opportunity. To me, you're playing to the strength. If I'm the other team and Durant and Booker are the best players and y'all running an equal opportunity offense, I'm happy, because I don't have to deal with Durant as much, you know? So even if you move the ball, whatever you're doing, you still have to make sure your best players at the end of the night get the most shots. And that's Brunson and Randall. So I'm all for moving the ball and stuff, but at the end of the night, those guys have to have the most.
I agree with that. I'm just saying, like, the first couple of quarters to help get you the easiest buckets for those guys, you know, to try to get the others involved, and when it's go time for the superstar to take over, then it'll be a little easier, because maybe they don't have to W so much, or they can't W, especially if RJ takes that leap. That hopefully help with the rest of the pressure for Brunson and you know, and Randall. That's just all what I mean. You know, kind of like how Trae Young, I seen NBA University post a stat about Trae Young being one of the leaders with 3 different teammates of percentage of alley-oops, successful alley-oops. And it was Capella, Collins, like people that maybe need the help getting buckets. But because that, you know, he keeps them involved and things of that nature. That's all. I mean, I know Randall and Brunson should have the majority of the shots, but I would like them to get easier shots, and maybe help their teammates can help them do that.
Yeah, I agree with that. But this is what I think: when we start knocking down outside shots, Mitch can get alley-oops.
Yeah,
because now the team has to decide: am I going to, you know, defend the roller? Obviously, you're going to have to defend them because they're closer to the basket. or if I'm gonna have to leave, I'm gonna have to leave Grimes to do that. You know what I mean? So once you start hitting those outside shots, all of the things we want to see, room for cutters, room for picking, all of that is going to open up. I think it works both ways. Put it that way. It works both ways because we can
I think
force
they kind of
pick
did
and
that in the
rolls all we
Cleveland.
want.
Exactly what you're talking about.
We
And
was
he
I said I
knocking
was
down
think they did
shots.
that with the Cleveland series. Yeah.
and he was
And so
getting
the
that when
lane
we
looked
had those
wide
shorts.
open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When we had the Bullocks
It
and
was-
everything, he was getting them alley oops because that's how he led the league in field goal percentage. Because they was throwing it right up to him and he was going to get it.
Yeah.
That's why I led with I want us
Or
to shoot
offensive
better
rebounds.
because that's gonna open up
Yes.
so many options on on our offense. Lady and the Chef, any player you think is gonna take the next leap, a leap, or who you would like to take a leap?
Well, for one, I want to say Ebony and Geoff must be part of the Mitch fan club because I see Mitch as your boy.
Presidents.
Yeah.
That's my guy. I like defense.
I'm over it, but don't stand the president.
I mean, I like defense too. He had a nice little stop in the first preseason game I saw where his hands were out, and I was like, okay, good, But again, I'll see what Mitch does this season. I think Steph had mentioned on your last show, you were saying he looked quicker. And he did look like he had more pep in his step. So, but for me, I'm gonna also go different, and I'm gonna go with the Hart Foundation.
Oh,
I think Isaiah Hartenstein, I would like to see him shoot the 3-ball more this season because I think that would be another X factor for the Knicks. Yeah. If he can get behind that line and Tibbs allows him to get behind that line, I think if he shows it more and shoots the ball with confidence, that will open somebody up. And maybe he could even fake like he's going to shoot that 3 and dump it down to Mitch or whoever's down there. Now we got an easy bucket. He already does good with nice passing. So I'm not going to give him that. He's pretty good on defense. But I think if he could implement even a mid-range shot, he does the hook, but be more accurate with that hook shot and that floater shot that you do. And, getting those baskets, above the free throw line. But seeing him shoot those and then as well as the 3-point shot, I think that would be like a huge improvement for the Knicks because that'll help them out a lot. And then Josh Hart, I know Sim had talked about this and I agree. He would get down he gets down the basket and he's like Bam Bam. He's the need for speed. And now you're too strong. You go into the basket and you miss the layup, or then he's complaining and looking at the ref like, how did that happen? I want to see him have better control when he's going in for those layups. He gets the nice steals. I appreciate that, but I need you to finish when you get to the other end. So just having more control and also him shooting the ball with more confidence, the 3-point shot. Because who knows what would have happened if Brunson would have passed him that ball in that Miami game. And he would have, if he would have passed him and he would have shot the ball. But I want to see the Hart Foundation really take off to the point where we're getting just free donations because they're just flourishing and they're doing their thing. But I think those two guys, along with who you all said, I think they'll be, players who will make a difference and they can help out. And again, it'll take that pressure off of Brunson and Randall from always feeling like they have to score all the points. I think making a more collective team effort, quickly stepping in and giving us points and consistently. I think just if the Knicks as a team can do that as a whole and everybody does their part every night and come in and say, I'm going to get better each game, we can go far. You know what I mean? And they need the consistency is key too. I think if you're going to play hard, even if it is back-to-back games, you're professionals. Like BX Chris said, like you guys are not kids. You're getting paid millions of dollars. I need to see consistency from everybody. But both for the Hart Foundation, I would like to see both of those guys really step up and do their thing respectively.
Yes, definitely.
That's cool.
What I'm hearing from the panel though is everybody can actually improve.
Absolutely.
Because it was we mentioned about five players and a coach. You know, so
And a coach.
I mean, but that's good in the sense that we have players and coaches who are not at their ceiling yet.
Yeah.
You know, there's more, that they can grow to. Even, even Brunson, though sometimes when I sit down and I try to figure out, what can Brunson do to get better? I don't think he's going to be a better defensive player. I don't think it's because of lack of effort. I just don't see that happening. Maybe he can become more efficient, but he shot 50%, almost 50% from the field, 40% from the 3-point line, and 82% from the free, but he'll figure it out. He'll figure it out. There's improvement for everybody, actually.
Oh,
But
yeah.
let's get into how many games do you think the Knicks will win this season, and where do you think they will finish in the Eastern Conference? Let's start with Lady in the shop.
I got them at 50 and 32. That's what I wrote down. 50 and 32, fourth, fifth seed.
All right, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, they were close, so I'm hoping they can. I see them getting about 50 and 32, fourth, fifth seed.
Fourth, fifth seed. Okay, all right. Diva Locks.
Same here. Definitely, I want to see them fourth seed. No lower than the fifth, but I would definitely have them at like 50-32.
Okay, all right now.
You
Would you
got
be
high?
disappointed if they didn't get 50?
Yeah, I would, because
Okay.
they are definitely, worthy of, at least fourth, fifth. So yeah, I would be highly disappointed. Yes.
Okay, all right now. The league, the Eastern Conference has gotten better though.
That's
So
what
I
I'm
think if
saying.
they can get 50, but they're gonna have to fight for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I have them at between anywhere from 48 to 52. Tsunami?
Okay.
Okay, so see, we're all kind of in lockstep. I got 52 and 30.
Yeah. It's not gonna
No,
be
I'm an
easy though.
optimist when it comes to the Knicks. And look, I think
You
that
got them
one
at
of
what?
the issues 52 and 30. So it's just one more win. It's just one more
All
win
right now.
anymore. That's all. My thought process is we'll finish fourth and that hopefully we stay healthy this year. So, I mean, you think about last year, we had Jalen Brunson out for a few games. Not that Obi is a world beater, but he was out for a little while too. And there were some games we just needed an extra body and we didn't have it because we were doing like an 8-man rotation and all that. So looking at it that way, RJ was out for a little bit. I think there were just a few chippies that we could have had that we just didn't get. And I think with Jalen Brunson on this team and the way he commands his team and the way he'll take a step forward leadership wise, we won't lose those Orlando games or those Toronto games. Games like that. Not saying that those teams may not be better, but I think we should be better than them. And so we should win those games.
Yeah.
Wizards, I mean, I know they have Jordan Poole.
For sure.
Took me a second there on there. So it'll be a different type of game, but I think we should do better against the bottom dwellers, if you will.
Bottom
Yeah.
dwellers. Okay.
Yeah, the folks in the
Ebony and
basement.
Dick.
We should be almost to the top floor. That's how I see it.
Almost to the top. I like that. Yeah, I'm in the 50 game range also. And my thought process is this team is built for a long season and withstanding maybe it got to forget injuries or anything of the sort. I think we have a lot of the same player, so it's really the next man up. And also, a lot of other teams have to gel. They have to take time to do that. They
Right.
have a lot of missing moving pieces. I'm not really sure if I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'm not sold on Boston. And I'm not. I like Dame. I know Dame is a great offensive player, but they lost a lot in Drew Holiday and what he did for that team. So that I'm just banking on them taking time. In Philadelphia, they don't know what they do, if they're
Exactly.
Harden coming to play or not. So that I don't, and the Heat, didn't make much moves. They banking on their youth making a leap. So we could be the third seed in that little third seed. I think we could get it. Yeah, and just like I heard somebody say about Golden State, they're banking on letting the youth carry them throughout the season, so they don't have to burn out the Stephs and the CP3s and Clay. So hopefully, this team that we have will allow us to kind of do something similar, and we're able to blow out teams and get rest when we need, like Tsunami was saying. Yeah, I agree.
That's what we need, yo. I'm tired of watching games be 8-point leads. I need to see 20-point blowouts so I can go to bed. Like,
we need some stat pattern games. We need stat pattern games too.
Hard to get his 40,
But when we get those games,
we gotta hold that 20-point game though. That's the problem.
That's true. We'll get that lead.
But also, the whole game, right?
I had to get a shot. I didn't know how this was going to go.
For Tibbs to take the players out when we do get, if it's a 20-point lead and there's 4 minutes left, Randall and Brunson could be out the game. And I get it. There was times when he didn't do it because, it seemed like whenever we did, they would inch back into the game. But there are times when the game is just out of reach. So we could just relax and, bring in the bench and allow those players to, to rest. So we'll see if that happens.
We're deeper now, too. I would hope that makes a difference. I mean, having Dante DiVincenzo on our bench, is better than, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to take shots at Deuce McBride, but knowing that you have that at least an offensive player who's not a negative on the offensive end will help alongside his defensive tendencies. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm just hyped to be here. I'm gonna interrupt all y'all, but it won't be on purpose.
Salute, Train. Hopefully you on the next one. Go ahead, Chris, and then I'll read the super chats.
So my numbers are a little lower, and the reason why is because of what you guys just said, tips. So I have us at 48 and 34. And the only reason why I have us at 40 and 34 is because Tibbs is stubborn. So until he showed me something different, I'm not comfortable with saying a 50-win season because I feel like sometimes he kind of stays with people too long or doesn't put the person back in at the right time. Or as, it was said earlier, like the hot hand is going and then he kind of, if Randall's not in the game, he's bringing Randall back in. But wait, this person just hit like 4 shots in a row. Like, let's work this till it's done. So that's why I'm doing 48 and 34 because I feel like sometimes Tibbs plays us out of some of the games, and some of his matchups and some of his lineups, and I'm not sure if he's trying to see something. What is he trying to see? I don't really know, but I think sometimes his lineups are very questionable. So that's why I went 48 and 34. But I do feel that we're going to be in that 4th, 5th spot, though. I feel like it's going to be a dog spot. I don't know who's going to be. Either we're going to be 4th or we're going to be 5th. I don't know what team is going to leap, but I feel like even though they're kind of gelling, I feel like towards the second part of the season, some of them are going to really start taking a run, and it's going to be a game of peace that, everybody's going to be behind each other. So it's going to be a good season. I can't wait to see how it plays out.
So
let me read the super chats then. Jay Boogie, salute. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
This cipher right here lets me know it's ladies' night. This is my BET award show. Hit that like. Salute. 3 capital S's. I miss you, my brother. He's usually on the panel. It's been a minute. And Paris Duggar, we'll get better when we pass first, dribble second. Our guys are human beings who will stop cutting, setting picks, playing as hard on O if ignored. Thank you, Paris Duggar. I appreciate you. All right. This team as presently constructed, are we championship contenders right now?
We can give it a run.
We
can give it a run.
I agree.
And if not,
we're gonna need a lot of leaps.
We need some pieces.
Right.
We can fight.
We
can fight. We could get some Vaseline and put our hair back. It'll be a fight.
That's what we
Well, it's not a dynasty team, but that's
Yeah, we're not a dynasty.
Right.
Like, we some dogs.
Right.
But
I want to make a distinction.
I think I like to think of us like the Pistons. Do it as a committee.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. The question is, are we championship contenders right now? And if not, what do we need to do to become that? And listen, I'm not saying we can't get to the finals. Miami got to the finals. I don't consider them a championship contending team, but they got there a few years ago. Atlanta got to the Eastern Conference final. So anything can happen. But in your mind, do you see the Knicks as championship contenders right now? And if not, what do they need to do to become that? Ebony will start with, okay. Tsunami will start with you.
Oh, that's what I get for laughing? Okay. Okay, I'm going to say we're not championship contenders, but this was a question asked at my work not too long ago. And I said I believe we're conference final contenders. That's where I have us. They laughed at me, but they don't know about New York. It's fine. That said, they left me to scorn, y'all. It would not stop. But anyway, that's because I'm more afraid of what's going on the West Coast. I don't know if we can really compete with the Denvers of the world, the Phoenixes of the world. Or at least they concern me. But as far as how can we get better, it depends on your belief in RJ. But if you don't want to believe in RJ, then I would say we need a third bona fide all-star, superstar, however you want to triage it. And the Knicks have pieces in order to make a trade like that happen. Now, whether I see it happening or not, I don't see it happening now. I think that's an off-season deal if we are going to push, our chips to the middle, if you will. But so to answer your question, staying with my answer, no, not championship contenders yet.
Okay. All right. Diva Locks.
I agree with Tsunami. And to me, like the center is also key too. With Mitch playing out that center, I mean, be my daughter, we despise Mitch for what? A lot of reasons.
I'm hurt for Mitch, and I ain't even feeling like that.
Well, I mean, he there's a lot of downsides to his game, but a center, that could be a key component for the Knicks. There's a lot of top tens. You got your Jerrell, you got Joker. There's a lot out there. Aiden, like his game,
he outplayed Allen though.
He did, but again, I'm not like his game. I don't like his game. So I think like a center could also, again, be that key component, and Mitch is not. I mean, yeah, he's defense, but for me, so I guess, and like Tsunami said, the West, there's you got Phoenix, and they picked up Bill. He don't have to be that scorer like he did. He's an addition. So that's what we need. We need an additional piece for them to be a contender. So, I totally agree with Tsunami. So, but we'll get there. I'm hoping
we'll get there.
We got time.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I want to say this in I don't know if I want to say in Mitch's defense, but I will say this. For how this team is constructed, for how this team is constructed, Mitch definitely helps out. We're not a good shooting team, so having an elite offensive rebounder that can give us second opportunities is pivotal to the way this team is presently constructed. We don't have good perimeter defenders. I don't consider RJ Barrett a good perimeter defender. Brunson is not a good defender. So having, Mitch back there, not just blocking shots and protecting the rim, but because he's back there, sometimes players don't even want to drive in, to the basket, So I get that part in terms of how this team is presently constructed, what he brings defensively, what he brings in terms of offensive rebounds. I get it. Ebony, Geoff, Staffer, I get it. Because everybody thinks because you want to change the center that you don't get what he does. I get what he does. But I will say this: if you're a better shooting team, you don't need an elite offensive rebounder. If you got good perimeter defenders, you don't need elite rim protectors. Everybody, there's other teams out there making it happen without an elite rim protector and without an elite offensive rebounder. Why? Because their team is constructed differently. All right. So I'm gonna say it again. For how this team is constructed, we need Mitch and what he does. But I believe if we're gonna win a championship, everybody on that court needs to be an offensive threat. Because if you're not, they're gonna take your guy, use your guy to double team, use your guy to roam, use your guy to crowd the key, because they know you're not going to do anything with the ball offensively, and then that makes it difficult for the rest of the team. So, not now, but in a perfect world, we got good perimeter defenders. We got a center who's solid defensively, can rebound, and is an offensive threat. So overall, he may not be as elite a defender as Mitchell Robinson, but if we're better on the perimeter, they wouldn't need to be. That's my dream for the Knicks, offensively. But for right now, with our poor shooting and our porous defense, we need Mitchell Robinson. We need Mitchell Robinson right now. And I have no hopes about him doing anything offensively. This is who he is. Just take it to another level defensively if you can. And he did against Cleveland. He took it to another level. I don't expect him to play like that every single game, but it did show me that there is another level defensively that he has, because he outplayed Jarrett Allen and he outplayed Mobley. Then we got to Miami, and this is my concern. The deeper you go into the playoffs, the better teams you play. The better teams you play, the more you're able to exploit your weaknesses. And that's what Miami did. They exploited our weakness as far as shooting, spacing. And they did a good job keeping Mitch off the boards, second chance points, because they know that's what he does, So we'll get there. I don't think we're championship contenders either, but we will, we'll get there. We'll get there. Who didn't talk in terms of us being championship contenders? Ebony, Chris, Lady and the Chef, you went already?
No.
Okay. Ebony?
Yeah, sorry, my connection was bugging out. I don't know what that was about. But yeah, I think
I hope you heard
said
me defending Mitch. Did you hear that? I hope you heard me defending Mitch. I hope it didn't go out.
I heard that part.
Okay.
I heard that part. Nah, but definitely. And also another thing that Mitch does is he prevents people from getting out on transition because they have to team rebound against him. So that's a good thing to have also. But the thing when I'm saying leaps is I like the way New York's constructed, because you can play different styles. When you think about it, I know we don't have the big, long wing, but we have people that can shoot if they make that leap at an efficient level, And if I also think that the reason I was okay with iHeart being here is because I heard that he had more of an offensive game, 3-point shot and of that nature. And I felt with him and Mitch, we could throw a complete center type of thing, If he's hitting his shots, then whatever look you need. If you need the rim protector, we have that. If you need the center that can hit that shot, and I seen iHeart try to do it in the first preseason game. It looks like he's going to try to dribble more off the top of the key, maybe trying to beat more people. Yeah, beat more the bigger centers than him to the basket. So that's what I mean. Like that, them together, I think is like a complete center, and I like it that way because whatever style somebody else is playing, we can match up with that. And I feel that way with a lot of teams when it comes defensive. So we just need that leap offensively. Like I need RJ and them if they can get consistent 3-pointers, like we all been saying. I think the sky's the limit with this team, and everybody keeps saying how Brunson has another level. So I would like to see it, and I think if he does, then then that maybe is that considered superstar level? If it is another level, what level is it?
Right.
Yeah. So if it's he takes a huge leap because he has getting better every year. I can see us soon. Not right now, but I don't know what they added to their game. If leaps happen, then I can see us being contenders. These other teams have to go through gelling. With Phoenix, I think it's gonna to be not be everybody not being the man. KD knows how to play like this, but I'm not sure about Booker and Bill. Bill's always been the man, and to have to be go from the scorer to the point guard. I'm intrigued to see how that works, but I think that's gonna take a little time. Also, I think eventually, if we make leaps, we'll be there by the end of the year.
Oh wow!
As a contender,
okay,
as a top,
right.
as a top team, I see it. I feel it.
As a contender or a top
love it.
team.
Well, top team mean you're a contender. I ain't saying I don't think we winning the championship. You get what I'm saying? That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is, I think we could be up there in the top three, battling up there for as a team. So that's pretty good odds to me. That's contender status, right? If depending on the way the eggs roll or how things happen, who knows? We could get on a roll and do it like a committee where we don't have the star, but everybody stars in their role.
Everybody's an injury away.
Right.
But with the good thing about having the good thing about having the same players, then it's just like Knicks, the same type of players like Knicks.
That's good point on Mitch and Hartenstein together, because you're right. If you think of them as one player then you can kind of relax a little bit. Leave a lot to the lady in the show. If you could think about Mitch and Hartenstein as like one player that you could just mix and match, then you can relax about the position. You can bring it down a little.
I'll break it down.
And that's what happened in the playoffs, right? There were some games in which Hartenstein closed, and some games in which he played more minutes than Mitch, depending on how they was playing us. So that's a good point.
Yeah.
Lady in the chef, did you say whether we were championship contenders or not? And then Chris?
No, I don't know. I'm torn. I think the Knicks have potential, but I don't know about them going all the way. I think, to piggyback off of what Ebony was saying, it has to be a committee role. Like, every man has to come in and step up and be good in their role and be consistent in their role and do what they need to do on a nightly basis. And I just think the Knicks need to be like how Miami was last season. They got to be dogs when it comes to the postseason. You got to want it. Y'all got to get scrappy, because when Miami, if you think about last year in the postseason, Bam intentionally stepped on Julius' ankle. You're not going to tell me otherwise. And looked at the camera like, and what? Say something.
Yes, he did.
I think that Miami just came out just way more hungrier. And the Knicks were almost playing like they were playing under this structured realm. And then when they got to Miami, it was like, oh, wait. And then Miami looked at them like, you messing with the big dogs now. Like, we lions, we want it, we're hungry. And I think if the Knicks could really turn that up and not get so winded come the postseason, I think the Knicks can make a solid run and go further than what they did last year. But I really, truly think that right now, to piggyback off of what everyone's been saying, the Knicks have to be consistent on the shooting end, and, like VX Chris was saying, don't get flat in the third quarter. You've had a little rest in the halftime. Come out with the energy. I don't want to hear Clyde and Mike Breen give my anxiety be up. I sometimes I'm trying to eat a snack while I'm watching a game, and I can't but relax, because it's like, how did we was up by 22 and now the lead is only up by 8, and then someone throws the ball away. It's just like, clean it up. Don't be as sloppy.
Right.
You got to come out a lot more hungry. And like I said, just don't lose wind when we get towards the end of the regular season. Don't worry so much about that tournament that they threw in for that. That isn't what matters, is the actual championship. you know, and that's what the Knicks have to, every player has to keep their eye on the prize. So I want to see them just really come. If the Knicks can be hungry, I think they can contend. And you can do like what Miami did that no one expected them to come out and do. But they have to be gritty, you know, scrappy. I want to see everybody coming out, diving for balls, loose balls, steals. And, you know, I think everybody has to come out and really shine. You know, like Randall got a little quiet even before the ankle injury. We were like, well, what's going on? Where is he at? Quickly, I was looking for Quickly each game. I was like, I had binoculars watching the game at one point. I said, is he sitting down in the crowd? Because I didn't know where he was. It was just, you can't shy away. This is not the time to get quiet. We need you to step up to the plate, knock down shots. I want to see the ball movement, quicker pace. And if the Knicks could come out hungry, I think they can be contenders, championship contenders.
There you go. Okay. Chris, and then I'll get to the super chat.
So to piggyback on the third quarter, I think, because I remember in college they used to come at halftime and they used to bring fruit and like this fruit basket and some water. Maybe they eating at halftime. I don't know. Like, you know, the food was looking good at halftime. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you wanted some oranges or something to give you some vitamin C. So maybe that's what the third quarter is. But I don't think that we're a contender, but I feel like if everybody is clicking and hitting their shots and doing what they do, I think we could give a run for money. But I don't think we're there yet. I still feel that we have some pieces that we need to add to the team. Our bench looks really strong, but it's the starters. Like, I feel like we still are missing, like, you know, like that center you guys are talking about that can score. He ain't got to score a lot of points, but, you know, keep it honest. Keep it honest. Get a couple baskets here and there, and we definitely need the 3-point shooter. So until we get those pieces, I feel like, you know, we're not there yet. But we're close. We're close. And like I said, an injury away, we could be in the finals. You know, anything could happen. As we see, we got an injury, and we, you know, that just took our momentum. But, you know, we took Miami to 6. So, you know, what could have happened if they wouldn't have got injured? So,
right. Yeah, I agree. I don't think we're championship contenders, but I do think if certain things fall right, we can make a run. We can make a run for it, for sure. I think one of the things that we need to get better at, I actually think we need more experience. I just think that we're a really young team, NBA-wise and playoff-wise. And when you think about those who win the championship, even if they're young in age, they've been going to the playoffs year after year after year. So you look at Tatum and Brown, they're young, but they probably got 60 playoff games amongst them. Like, the Joker is young, but he's been going to the playoffs a lot. So I feel like we don't have that on the team. And then I think our wings, I don't think they're there yet. Like, maybe Brunson is there. Maybe Randall is there. You know, Mitch, you know, if he just sticks in his role, I think he'll be okay. But I think Grimes and RJ on a team that's not top heavy. So when you're not top heavy, everybody has to pull their weight.
Yes.
And I think it's a lot to ask Grimes, who doesn't even have 2 years of NBA game experience. That's a lot to ask him to be the starter on a championship team. So that's why I don't think we're there yet. I just think the players just haven't grown into being starters on championship contending teams. But we'll go back to the playoffs this year. We'll get stronger, and we'll, hopefully get more playoff experience over the years. And, we have assets, so if something comes up, the Knicks can, make a move to accelerate the process some. Let me get to these super chats. Justo11, appreciate you. I would like to see us get Bojan from Detroit or Harrison Barnes, just guys who can hit the 3 and be a possible star in the playoffs. Just solid guys. Yeah, I do think we're kind of young. And we saw that in the playoffs. It made it difficult for Grimes.
There's not a lot of veterans. There's not a lot of veterans in the league. It seems like they're kind of moving them out. So it's really hard for a young team to really get that veteran experience or that word or knowledge or that help, because it seems that they're aging them out. I mean, just look at how many veterans are in, and the veterans that are there are playing key roles in your team. They're not on the bench. Like I think the last bench player was the what's his name from Miami. He was the last bench player that was on there. You know, so yeah, Haslam. He was the last one that was on there that was like walking the guys through stuff and teaching them about how to be a player, how to work on their body and stuff. Some of these players are still eating McDonald's and KFC and all of that stuff like that. So they don't really know what it takes to really eat the proper meal and how to work out and stuff like that. And there's nobody really there to show them. So they're kind of learning on the fly. So I feel like
look at Charlotte.
Exactly. You know, and not only that, now Mike is not there. That was helping them, you know, because he was in the practice and stuff like that. He's not there anymore to help them. So they're kind of like learning on the fly.
That's a good point. Just 11, appreciate you again. Also, how do you
Walker?
Say it again.
Haslam was in a walker teaching those.
But that's what I'm saying. At least he was that presence there, you know. You know who's our vet?
That's what I was gonna say, BS, because like Steph was saying about the young players. Well, you know, they need a veteran also, someone that could. I mean, D Rose. When he was there, he used to talk, but they need like a veteran, you know, somebody that could, when the guys come, you know, sit on the bench, like to talk to them and, you know, show them like, you know, the mistakes that they did on the court, like where they could have cut, slashed. So veterans help also, you know. So I think that's a key piece that they need, you know, someone that can guide the younger players.
Randall definitely needed a veteran on his team, like one of the veterans, like an Oakley that'll F him up if he comes crazy. Because you know, because sometimes he would just take it away from the team. You yelling at you yelling at your teammates, you coming to the bench with all this energy. He need the veteran, like, yo, young fella, sit down now. You know, like, don't do this. You know what I'm saying? Like, he needed that. And it's a lot of times, even with John Morant, he needed a veteran out there. Like, yo, what's wrong with you? You got all this money on the table in this contract, and you playing with guns. Like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, he needed a vet. They gave him 2.
They gave him 2. But Derrick Rose said, "Listen, I'm not a babysitter. I don't know what you know, but I'm not a babysitter. I can't hear the play. So you get your stuff together. You got to be. I'm not watching you.
You got to be open to the veteran leadership, though. Yeah, you got to be open to it. And I will say this in Randall's defense. We're talking 2 years ago. He was cool last season. I didn't see him hitting laptops.
That's what I'm saying.
You know, and if they, I mean, he's gonna listen. He's gonna
that once.
Nah, he went at quick this year.
He did. RJ.
Him and OB, they went at each other.
And RJ.
But RJ, yep.
He's an emotional player. There are some players. There are some players who play better on the edge, because you could see in the playoffs when his affect was flat and he wasn't playing with an edge, he was a different player. He was just like non-existent, and that was beside the ankle injury. He plays with an edge. I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with Randall. That's just him. That's just how he played. Now, 2 seasons ago, when we win in a game and you all upset over a call and we won the game and the game is over and you still starting, like, that's different. But in the heat of the game, he's an emotional guy. Everybody is different. Go to the edge, just don't go over. And everybody knows when somebody is upset, don't touch them. Everybody knows that. You know, that's just not something you do.
But anyway, just to take all that energy out on the other team too.
Right.
For real.
And he does. He was a 2-time All-Star, 2-time All-NBA player, so he does take it out on the other team, in all fairness. But anyway, the Liberty play at 9 is 8:29. I want to get through these super chats. And everybody have their last words so that we can get out of here and prepare for the Liberty at 9 o'clock. Justo 11, appreciate you again. Also, how do you feel about the Knicks New City jerseys? I think I saw
they're throwback, though. Aren't they a throwback to the new era?
Yeah, a little bit of throwback. Yeah, they all right. And then another one. Also, Miami had a hot streak of threes. You are not lying. They were a terrible shooting team.
Yes.
They turned it on in the playoffs and went all the way to the finals. This is what shooting does. You know what I mean? and even when they didn't shoot well, they hit the big shots.
Yeah.
They were still a AC team, especially against Denver. I think we don't even see them in the playoffs this year. I don't
Wow.
either. I mean, they still have Bam, they still have Butler, they still have Tyler Hero, who didn't play in the playoffs, so they're not going to be slouches. But I agree with you. I don't anticipate them making a run.
They might make the playoffs, but they're not going to go as far as they went last year. I think they're going to still make it. They might be like an 8th seed, but I don't think they're going to go as far.
Yeah, I don't either.
Me either. Any last words before we get out of here?
I enjoyed myself. Thank you again. It was nice meeting and talking to you ladies. Definitely.
Same here.
Definitely.
Yeah, I would like to do this once a month if you guys are available. That would be, that would be great.
Your times be a little late. People be going to bed early. But 7 is good.
But this is not late. 7 o'clock is good.
7 o'clock.
I hope.
I was meeting some of you guys. I think I see a couple of you on the chats, but it was a pleasure actually talking to you and having this time. It's rare that Stephanie and I get to talk to other females outside of us about the Knicks.
True.
It's good to have other people because we kind of talk each other through stuff. Or like, did you see? We were texting each other. Did you see that trade? Did you see? So it's good to have other people to have those conversations.
For sure.
Oh, and BX Chris, I was before we got, I saw something on ESPN, and I was looking at their depth chart, and they have Fournier for 5th. So I don't think he's gonna but he may,
They have Fournier for what?
They have Fournier 5th at the depth chart.
Really?
Yeah. I mean,
on
that
the
could
15,
change.
Yeah.
I think that could change.
I think he just needs to get his confidence back. I think he just needs to come in with like a little edge on his shoulder to practice and just, the thing about Tibbs is that he wants you to work and show him that you want to be on the court. So I think if he coming in just kind of like just, put it all on the line, then you have to really make Tibbs like play. You got to come out there and really show. So I don't know, maybe get in there with Quick and put some shots up or something. I don't know. I really don't know at this point because he's a veteran. It's not like he's, 2-3 years in the league. I mean, he should know how to be able to get in there and manipulate the situation where he can actually get on the floor. So I don't know.
But who's he beating out? I don't see the rotation. If we stay at 9, that means somebody is out the rotation. And if we go to 10, that means the guards' minutes are going to go down even more. They already limited with the addition of DiVincenzo. So I don't really see a spot.
He's not even taking advantage of the opportunities he had last year. Take advantage of your opportunity and make him play you. That's what Rose did. They didn't bring Rose in initially to be some star player. He took advantage of the opportunities and carved himself a place. So that's what I feel like Evan needs to do.
Yeah, when we blowing out them teams that we need to blow out, and he get his opportunity, he got to show.
Yeah.
And the season is long, so you don't wish for him, but they're probably going to happen injuries. So rest and injuries. I know you can't rest your players anymore to extent because they changed the rules.
Yeah, they changed the rule.
But I think definitely that the blowout minutes and the injury minutes, he might be able to catch some might. That's a strong mic.
Look what Obi did. Obi took advantage of the opportunity. He had 40-point games, 30-point games. He took advantage of those opportunities. But that's what he needs to do. Take advantage of those opportunities.
Yeah.
And 30 points.
And he still only got 16.
You know what I'm saying?
16 minutes. I think I agree with you. I agree with you. But I just don't see Fournier. I don't see him because that means less minutes for Grimes, less minutes for IQ, less minutes for DiVincenzo. I just don't see it happening.
So we didn't get to the question about we didn't get to the question about the front office, about what the front office needs to do. And but I'm gonna just be real quick. My thing is the front office needs to decide what they're gonna do with Fournier.
They need to trade him, and until they trade him, he just needs to stay ready. If there's an injury, or something. He just needs to stay ready. I'm not playing Fournier over Grimes. I'm not playing Fournier over Quickly. I'm not, but we'll see. We'll see. Stranger things have happened with Tibbs, Next thing I didn't expect Sims to be potentially playing power forward. So
he's an expiring contract, right? Fournier?
Yeah.
That's the only reason we still have him. We're trying to get a nice little
Nobody
deal.
wants to
Not
pay
that
that
it's gonna happen.
He could be a filler.
right?
That's why they keep saying his contract value could be a filler.
Yeah.
A-Trade said Fournier is staying ready for a trade.
There you go.
Word. His bag's stacked at the door.
So somebody asked, do you think he could come off the bench? I said, yes, I will bench right onto somebody else's. Sure. Sure.
Right. And maybe
he can hand out some water at this point.
Maybe they were showcasing him because I was surprised he got 20 minutes in the preseason game.
Yeah.
Maybe they're showcasing
Maybe
him.
somebody said they might be interested, but they want another look or something. So you never know.
San Antonio.
Yeah,
they would definitely showcase it, but he didn't show up too good because he shot a couple of balls. I'm like, dang, he's not even trying to like.
I mean, let's be fair. Everybody was off. Like DiVincenzo didn't hit a shot till the second half. Quickly ended up 8 for 14, but in the first half he was like 1 for 5 or something like that. So nobody really played.
All right, let's see next game.
Great.
We're gonna hold off on saying stuff about Fournier next game. But they're not gonna get no run because Tibbs said he playing his full team next game. So I don't know when he's gonna get it.
One more super chat before we get out of here. Prophet New York, appreciate you. Any extension for Quickly? Ooh, that's a tough one. I think it happens.
Absolutely.
You have to. I think
Quickly needs to prove himself because while he did have a nice regular season last year, it's like I said earlier, the playoffs he got quiet, and that's not the time to get quiet. So I think if Quickly wants that bag, prove that you want the bag. And I commend the front office for not giving out all this money like we used to do years ago. We would give all this money away, and guys were either sitting on the bench injury prone, or they just didn't perform. So I think to me, like prove you worthy. Like we know you could play, but prove you want that extra bag. And I just want to see Quickly's game evolve, just like Grimes. I want to see y'all step y'all game up.
Yeah, I agree. I just don't.
If we don't sign him before the season starts, he becomes a restricted free agent at the end of the season. You can still match though, but he's a restricted free agent. You were gonna say something, Ebony?
Yeah, I'm scared that we're gonna let him play. He's gonna have a wonderful season and become more expensive than
Mm-hmm.
now. So it's kind of like if you could get a deal done, and it's probably best to do it because he's proven it to get. He's gotten better every year and act back. He's done everything the Knicks asked. Before the questions were could he run point and off guard, and he's done pretty well. He did disappear in the playoffs, but I think I'm scared to let him play and he out. Then we got to pay him, or we can't pay him.
But the flip side of it, at least you know what you're playing for, because you can argue we should have went to restricted free agency with RJ Barrett, and we would have got him for cheaper. But I do agree that you rolling the dice. You rolling the dice. We ran the dice with Randall too. Remember that first year? We was like, oh, we should have went to restricted free agency with him. But then the year after, we were like, oh, okay, all right.
That's a good contract, right?
Right. You never know. You never know in situations like that if the play is going to continue to take off or if they're going to revert. The Knicks are in a tough situation, but they got till October 23rd, I believe.
Okay.
And then after that, they can't sign them during the season. Yeah. Cool. Anyway, Lady and the Chef, Ebony, Chris, Tsunami, welcome back. Diva Locks. Any of you going to be at the Legends on the 21st to kick off. We're going to be at Legends on the 21st, the 25th for the opening game, and then at the actual game when we play Cleveland November 1st. So any of you going to be at any of those?
I'm
Yeah,
definitely a try.
You guys should come. We should take over the podcast. Let all women set it off first.
Definitely. I came out there for draft night. I came through for draft night. Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yes. Steph, you should
So,
let
yeah,
them know
I'm
we're gonna take over.
I'm gonna try to get to one of those events. Definitely.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And if for opening night, which is the 25th, we couldn't get in there. The tickets were sold out.
Damn.
So we're gonna have a viewing party on the 25th, October 25th. All right. Until next time, I appreciate you, ladies. I appreciate everybody in the chat rocking with us. We got 86 in the chat. We got 65 likes. So if you can hit that like button on your way out, it definitely helps the channel. And go Liberty. Let's tie it up tonight.
Salute, ladies.
You tune in, that means you're feeling the vibe. The bell rung, you already been subscribed. Right now, the queen, she on live. Please pull over the whip, no phoning when you drive. Dope Soul, sporting with the talk. First lady from New York, Brooklyn.